Welcome to the channel where small coins tell big stories. Every coin you see in your pocket, drawer, or old collection carries more than just metal. It carries history, mystery, and sometimes surprising value. On this channel, we explore 5 valuable coins in every episode, coins that many people ignore, spend, or throw away, but collectors quietly search for all over the world. From old German Pfennigs to British pence, from euro cent coins to forgotten world currencies, we break down each coin step by step. Its year, mint mark, design details, historical background, condition, and most importantly, its market value today in US dollars. You'll learn how a simple coin, once used for daily shopping, can become a collector's item decades later. We explain what makes a coin rare, why mint marks matter, and how condition like extra fine or uncirculated can change a coin's value completely. Every video is designed for coin collectors, beginners in numismatics, people checking old coins at home, and anyone curious about hidden value in everyday money. We don't just show coins. We tell their stories, we explain their worth, and we help you understand why collectors care. So before you ignore that old coin in your hand, remember, it might be common, or it might be one of the 5 coins worth knowing today. If you love rare coins, old currency, and real market values, this is the right place for you. Subscribe to the channel, stay curious, and let's discover the hidden value of coins. One coin at a time. The 1996 German 2 Pfennig with a D mint mark, minted in Munich. You might think it's just a small copper-colored coin, but there's more to this tiny piece of history than meets the eye. We'll explore its historical significance, unique features, rarity, and most importantly what it's worth today in US dollars. Especially in extra fine condition, the 2 Pfennig denomination was part of the German Deutsche Mark currency system, used in West Germany and reunified Germany until the introduction of the euro in 1999 and final demonetization in 2002. 100 Pfennig made 1 mark, so this coin was worth just 0.02 German marks, essentially the German equivalent of a small cent. The obverse of the modern 2 Pfennig features an oak sapling, a symbol of growth and post-war rebuilding in Germany, along with the inscription Bundesrepublik Deutschland and the year of issue. The reverse shows the value 2 Pfennig between 2 stylized ears of rye made of copper-plated steel. These coins were light and inexpensive, struck for everyday circulation across Germany right up until the currency changeover to the euro. Now, let's talk about the mint mark. The small letter on the coin, in this case, D, tells you where it was minted. A German 2 Pfennig coin could be minted in A. Berlin, D. Munich, F. Stuttgart, G. Karlsruhe, J. Hamburg. So your 1996 D coin was struck at the Bavarian State Mint in Munich. While mint marks help collectors identify production locations, they also affect rarity and desirability. Although coins from circulation usually aren't rare, mintages can differ greatly. For the 1996 2 Pfennig, A. Berlin, 40 million, D. Munich, 42 million, F. Stuttgart, 48 million, G. Karlsruhe, 28 million, J. Hamburg, 42 million. So while a 2 Pfennig D from 1996 isn't extremely rare, 42 million examples were struck. It's also not the most common of the year. Keep in mind that these figures represent coins that entered circulation. There were also small proof sets released, also with mint marks, that were specially struck for collectors. These polyurethane plat proof issues are significantly scarcer, but today we're focusing mainly on circulation strikes. When we talk about coin condition, that's where things get interesting for value. Coins are graded from poor to about uncirculated, and uncirculated extra fine is a mid-high grade where wears light but detail is still sharp, especially on the high points like the oak sapling and lettering. An XF coin may show some light wear, but most design elements remain crisp. It's one of the most desirable grades for 20th century copper-plated coins. So how much is a 1996 German 2 Pfennig D in extra fine condition worth today? According to current market data, typical prices for 1996 2 Pfennig coins in various conditions range roughly between 15 cents and about $1 and 18 cents, good/very good, around 14 to 27 cents. Fine, around 19 to 58 cents. Very fine, around 27 to 73 cents. Extra fine, around 37 to 44 cents USD. Uncirculated, up to about 78 cents or more depending on eye appeal. These values might seem modest, and compared to gold or rare coins they are, but remember this coin was made for circulation and millions were produced, so true rarity doesn't come cheap here. Also, proof versions or coins graded by professional services, NGC, PCGS, can fetch higher prices, but those are a different niche. You might wonder, why collect something worth less than $1? Here's why dealers and collectors still go after coins like this. Historical context: the Deutsche Mark era ended with the euro changeover. Every circulated coin tells a story of daily life in Germany. Up to 2002 complete sets. Collectors often want a full set of all mint marks. For 1996, the A, D, F, G, J combo complete sets can be more valuable than singles. Next coin. The 1991 German 2 Pfennig with the G mint mark. It's small, it's humble, but for collectors, especially in extra fine condition, it can be a surprisingly intriguing piece with real market value. We'll dig into its historical context, coin details, rarity, and what it's worth today in US dollars. Let's get started. The Pfennig was the basic unit of German currency for centuries, and from 1948 until the adoption of the euro, it served as the cent equivalent of the Deutsche Mark. The 2 Pfennig coin was worth 0.02 marks, and was everyday pocket change in Germany for decades. The year 1991 was just after German reunification, a historic transition from two German states into one. The Deutsche Mark continued as the unified currency, and coins like this 2 Pfennig carried on circulating through millions of transactions. These coins remained in everyday use until the euro was introduced in 1999 for accounting and in 2002 for cash, after which they were demonetized. On the obverse of the coin, you'll see the inscription Bundesrepublik Deutschland, and the year 1991, flanking the traditional oak sapling, a symbol of growth and renewal. On the reverse, the denomination 2 Pfennig is framed by stylized ears of rye, with a mint mark above the number. Let's decode that tiny letter on the coin, the G in this case. That's the mint mark. In Germany, every mint had its own letter. A, Berlin. D, Munich. F, Stuttgart. G, Karlsruhe. J, Hamburg. So your 1991 2 Pfennig G was struck at the State Mint in Karlsruhe. Mint marks help collectors identify where coins were made, and sometimes certain marks can make particular versions more desirable when combined with condition and annual mintages. Now let's talk numbers. How many of these coins were actually made? According to coin catalogs, the 1991 2 Pfennig G had an approximate circulation mintage of about 80,500,000 coins. To compare, other 1991 mint marks had these mintages. F, Stuttgart 138, 000, 000. D, Munich 120, 750, 000. A, Berlin 115, 000, 000. J, Hamburg 120, 750, 000. So while the G mint version isn't ultra-rare by any means, it is the lowest mintage circulation strike among the 1991 2 Pfennig coins, which makes it a bit more interesting to date and mint mark collectors. Proof versions were also struck, about 45,120, but that's another collectible category. Collectors assign coins a grade based on condition from worn to nearly perfect. An extra fine coin is one where the major details are clear and strong, but with light, even wear on high points. On a 1991 2 Pfennig, that means the oak sapling leaves are visible and distinct, lettering is bold, and surfaces are clean with minimal scratches or dings. XF is a popular grade because it strikes a balance better than most circulated coins you'd find in change, but still accessible to many collectors who want quality without paying high collector premiums. Now for the part you've been waiting for: what is a 1991 2 Pfennig G worth today in extra fine condition according to current market guides and collector data? The general value ranges for 1991 German 2 Pfennig coins are approximately good to very good, about 10 to 17 cents USD. Fine, roughly 20 to 29 cents USD. Very fine, around 29 to 45 cents USD. Extra fine, approximately 50 to 60 cents USD. Uncirculated, can climb up to $1 and 21 cents or more, depending on eye appeal and grading. For the G mint mark, XF examples can command a slightly higher price than the lowest grade coins, simply because collectors prize coins that are well preserved and with clear detail. However, unlike rare gold or ancient coins, these 2 Pfennig pieces don't reach large premiums. They're still affordable and fun to collect. So why do collectors chase these seemingly modest coins? Here are some reasons. Historical significance. They circulated during Germany's transition years after reunification. Mint mark collecting. Many collectors aim for full sets of 2 Pfennig coins from a specific year with all different mint marks A, D, F, G, J. Condition matters. XF and uncirculated examples stand out in a collection and show how coins circulated in real pockets. Affordable entry. Unlike rare gold or ancient coins, these are inexpensive, making them ideal for beginners diving into world coins. Next coin. The 1990 German 2 Pfennig coin with the G mint mark, struck in Karlsruhe. This coin might look like a humble penny-sized piece of metal, but for collectors, especially in extra fine condition, it carries both historical interest and real market value in dollars. In this video, we'll break down the history, design, rarity, and what collectors are paying for this coin today. Let's dive in. To understand the 1992 Pfennig coin, we need a little history. The Pfennig was the basic subunit of the Deutsche Mark, DM, the official currency of West Germany, and, after reunification in 1990, all of Germany until the euro replaced it in 1999, accounting, and 2002, cash. The 2 Pfennig piece was worth 0.02 Deutsche Mark, making it everyday pocket change in German commerce. 1990 was a pivotal year in German history, marking the year of reunification after the fall of the Berlin Wall. So these coins were circulating during a dramatic era of change in Germany's political and economic life. This coin's obverse features a young oak sprig, a long-time German symbol of strength, growth, and national renewal, along with the inscription Bundesrepublik Deutschland, and the year 1990. The reverse simply shows the face value 2 Pfennig between two stylized ears of rye, with a tiny mint mark letter above the number indicating where it was produced. Now let's talk about that little letter that makes a big difference to collectors: the mint mark. In German coins, this identifies the mint facility that struck the coin. In 1990, the mint marks for 2 Pfennig coins included D. Munich, F. Stuttgart, G. Karlsruhe, J. Hamburg. So your G mint mark means the coin was made at the State Mint of Baden-Württemberg in Karlsruhe. Among the 1992 Pfennig coins, the G version has the lowest circulation mintage, making it a bit more interesting for collectors who focus on mint mark varieties. Specifically, around 47.6 million of the 1992 Pfennig G coins were made for circulation less than the D, Munich, F, Stuttgart, and J, Hamburg, mint marks. In coin collecting, condition, or grade, has a huge impact on value. A worn coin off the street can be worth just fractions of a dollar, but a well-preserved piece can command multiple times more. When we say a coin is in extra fine condition, we mean it has light wear overall, but most of the design details are still sharp and clearly visible. On this 2 Pfennig coin, that means you can easily see the oak leaves, lettering, and mint mark, and the surfaces are clean with minimal scratches or nicks. XF condition is popular with collectors because it strikes a balance: you see significant detail and charm without needing the coin to be completely uncirculated. Higher grades like uncirculated, UNC, can fetch more, but XF is often where everyday rarity starts to show. Let's get to the most asked for piece of information: what is the 1992 Pfennig G worth today? According to current coin catalogs and market data, 1990 German 2 Pfennig coins are generally base metal circulation pieces, so their value is modest but clearly higher in better condition. Typical market values: approximate USD. Good/very good, 20 to 30 cents. Fine, 30 to 56 cents. Extra fine, about $1.03. Uncirculated, higher depending on eye appeal and grading. For the 1990 G in extra fine condition, the value is roughly around $1.03 on average, significantly above the minimum for worn examples and showing the premium collectors will pay for a nicer coin. There aren't often high-profile auction results for such coins, but dealer and catalog pricing provide a solid benchmark for what buyers are willing to pay today. Now you may be wondering, why do collectors care about a coin worth $1 or $2? Here's why these small coins matter to numismatists. Historical context. This series circulated during a key time in modern German history, the reunification period mint mark variety. Collectors aim to complete a full set of 2 Pfennig coins from 1990 with all different mint marks, and the G version is the smallest mintage of that set. Condition sensitivity. Coins in better condition, like extra fine or uncirculated, are much more appealing than heavily worn ones and often sell for noticeably more affordable collecting. Unlike rare gold or ancient coins, these are inexpensive and accessible, making them perfect for beginners or world coin collectors. Numbericecorner.com. Next coin. The 1990 German 2 Pfennig with the J. Mint mark. At first glance, it might look like everyday pocket change, but in extra fine condition, this coin has collector interest and real market value in dollars. We'll explore its history, design details, rarity, and what it's worth today. Let's jump right in to understand any coin. We start with history. The Pfennig was one of the smallest denominations of the Deutsche Mark, DM, Germany's official currency before the euro. Each Pfennig coin was worth 0.02 marks, making it everyday pocket change in the Federal Republic of Germany. In 1990, Germany underwent one of the most important events of the 20th century: reunification of East and West Germany. Even as this monumental shift was happening, coins like this continued to circulate and facilitate daily life, from buying bread to public transportation. These Pfennig coins continued to be used right up until the euro was introduced, first electronically in 1999 and then physically in 2002 when the Deutsche Mark was officially demonetized. Next, let's decode that tiny letter at the top of the coin, the mint mark. In Germany, the mint mark tells you which mint facility produced the coin. D. Munich. F. Stuttgart. G. Karlsruhe. J. Hamburg, our focus today. So your 1992 Pfennig J was struck at the State Mint in Hamburg, a historic mint with a long tradition of producing German coinage. The mint mark might seem small, but it plays a significant role in how collectors assess rarity and desirability. Let's talk design. The obverse of the 1992 Pfennig shows a young oak sapling, a traditional symbol of strength and national hope, surrounded by the inscription Bundesrepublik Deutschland and the year 1990. On the reverse, you see the denomination Pfennig between two stylized ears of rye, with a J mint mark just above. These coins are made of copper-plated steel, weigh about 2.9 grams, and measure roughly 19.25 millimeters in diameter. Though small in size and face value, these details make the coin instantly recognizable to collectors of German decimal coinage. So how many of these coins were actually made according to coin catalogs? The 1990 J Mint Mark II Pfennig had a circulation mintage of approximately 73,470,120 pieces. Compared to other mint marks that year, this is a fairly high number. The F. Stuttgart mintage was about 82.5 million, and the D. Munich was around 71.5 million. There were also proof versions of each mint mark issued in limited numbers, about 45,120 proofs, but those are a separate collectible category and far rarer. So in general terms, the 1990 J coin isn't rare in the traditional sense. Tens of millions were made, but it can be scarce in higher condition grades. And that's where collector value comes in. Now, let's talk about condition. A coin's condition makes all the difference in value. In numismatic terms, extra fine refers to a coin that has light wear overall, but retains sharp design details and relatively crisp surfaces. On this Pfennig, that means the oak leaves, lettering, and mint mark are still clearly visible and well defined, with only minor wear on high points. XF coins are sought after because they show pleasing detail without the heavy wear of coins pulled from circulation for decades. Collectors often consider XF a sweet spot, affordable yet visually attractive. Now we come to the big question. What is the 1990 German Pfennig with J mint mark worth today, especially in extra fine condition? Based on current coin catalog data. Approximate market value ranges. Good/very good, around 5 to 10 cents USD. Fine, approximately 10 to 30 cents USD. Very fine, about 29 to 45 cents USD. Extra fine, typically around $0 and 25 cents on average. Uncirculated, higher depending on eye appeal and grading. Notice something interesting: the 1990 J version doesn't reach the higher premiums of the D mint mark in top condition, but it's still more valuable in XF condition than worn examples, and that's where collector interest drives price. Also keep in mind that certified coins graded by services like NGC or PCGS can sell for a bit more than raw coins, especially if the eye appeal is strong. Why would someone collect a coin worth a few dollars? Here's why these pieces matter to numismatists. Historical significance. They circulated during a momentous period in German history, right around reunification and the transition to the Euro mint mark collecting. Many collectors aim to complete sets, for example, a full 1992 Pfennig set with all mint marks, D, F, G, J. Condition premiums. Coins in better condition, like XF or better, stand out from the average and command higher prices. Affordable fun. These coins are inexpensive enough for beginners but still interesting enough to study and compare. WorldCoinsCatalog.com. Next coin. The 1979 German 2 Pfennig coin with the F mint mark struck in Stuttgart. While small in denomination, this coin has a rich background, a brilliant design, and an extra fine condition collector value today. In this video, we'll dive into its historical context, design details, rarity, and what it's worth in US dollars right now. Let's begin to understand the 1979 2 Pfennig coin. We need to talk about its place in German monetary history. The Pfennig was the basic subunit of the Deutsche Mark, DM, Germany's currency from post-World War II until the adoption of the euro in 2002. One Deutsche Mark was equal to 100 Pfennigs, so this coin was worth 0.02 mark and was everyday pocket change for decades. In 1979, these coins circulated throughout the Federal Republic of Germany, West Germany, and represent a snapshot of daily life, commerce, and economy during the Cold War era. They remained legal tender until February 28, 2002, when the Deutsche Mark was fully demonetized following the euro transition. The simple act of spending these coins in markets, buses, or cafes connects today's collectors to a fascinating era of German history. Next, let's decode the mint mark, that tiny letter above the denomination on German coins of this series. The mint mark identifies the mint facility where the coin was produced. In 1979, the mint marks included D. Munich, F. Stuttgart, our focus today, G. Karlsruhe, J. Hamburg. Your F mint mark tells you this coin was struck at the State Mint of Baden-Württemberg in Stuttgart. Over the years, mint marks have become one of the most important details collectors look for when assessing a coin's rarity and desirability, especially when comparing coins of the same year. Let's talk about what this coin actually looks like and what makes it a true piece of numismatic design. You'll see a small oak sapling with 5 leaves, a traditional German symbol of strength, growth, and resilience. Surrounding this image is the inscription Bundesrepublik Deutschland, Federal Republic of Germany, and the date, 1979. Here's where the mint mark F appears, positioned above the numeral 2, flanked on each side by stylized ears of rye and the word Pfennig beneath. In terms of physical specs: composition, copper-plated steel. Weight, approximately 2.9 grams. Diameter, approximately 19.25 millimeters. Edge, plain. Every detail here, from the oak leaves to the mint mark, tells a story about Germany's heritage and the era these coins circulated. Now let's talk about how many of these were made and what that means for collectors. According to coin catalogs, the 1979 2 Pfennig F had an approximate circulation mintage of about 105.1 million coins, one of the higher mintages among the different mint marks that year. To compare: 1979 D, Munich, 91 million. 1979 G, Karlsruhe, 60.6 million. 1979 J, Hamburg, 93.5 million. Because such large numbers were produced, the 1979 F coin is not rare in general circulation. Many were spent, lost, and later returned to collectors in mixed lots. However, high-grade examples, especially in extra-fine condition and above, are more sought after than heavily worn coins. Now comes one of the most important elements of this story: condition. Numismatists use condition grades such as good, fine, very fine, extra fine, and uncirculated to describe how well a coin's original details have survived wear. Extra fine means the coin shows light wear on only the highest points of the design, but retains sharp detail and clarity in most areas. On this 1979 F2 Pfennig, that means you can still clearly see the outline and detail in the oak leaves, the grain ears, the date, and the mint mark. An XF coin strikes a great balance between affordability and eye appeal, making it a popular grade among everyday collectors. Collectors often chase XF examples because they show off what the coin originally looked like when new, without the dullness and wear of typical circulation coins. Let's get to the part everyone wants to know: what is this coin worth today in US dollars? According to coin catalogs and market price guides, the 1979 German 2 Pfennig series has a broad value range depending on condition. Typical market values: approximate USD. Good/very good, $0.03, $0.10. Fine, $0.10, $0.29. Very fine, $0.27, $0.36. Extra fine, approximately $2.50 to $3. Uncirculated, can rise higher, often $5 to $10 plus depending on eye appeal and grading. This means a 1979 F2 Pfennig in extra fine condition often brings a notable premium compared to more worn examples. While it won't make you rich, it's still a satisfying find for collectors who appreciate condition and completeness in their sets. Keep in mind that certified coins graded by services like NGC or PCGS can fetch even higher prices than raw coins on online marketplaces, especially for XF and uncirculated examples. Now you might be wondering, why collect a small copper-plated coin with modest value? Here's why coins like the 1979 German 2 Pfennig F still matter to collectors. Historical context. These coins circulated for over 2 decades and tell a story about everyday life in West Germany before the euro. Mint mark collecting. Many collectors try to complete year-by-year sets with all mint marks, and the F mint mark is essential for the 1979 set. Condition sensitivity. Coins in extra fine and above stand out in collections and often trade at noticeable premiums. Affordable entry. These coins are inexpensive to acquire, making them ideal for beginners to practice grading and world coin collecting. And that wraps up our deep dive into the 1979 German 2 Pfennig coin, with the F mint mark, a small but historically rich piece of German numismatics that rewards collectors who pay attention to condition and detail. If you found one of these in extra fine condition, you're holding a piece of history that's still valued by collectors today. If you enjoyed this video, hit like, subscribe, and ring that bell for more coin stories and value guides. And drop a comment below. What rare coin are you hunting next? Let's talk in the comments.